So today we're here with Deb Paske, a new artist and the creative force behind Be Heard Publishing. And we're going to talk about her latest release, which is a one-way mirror. Okay, so with this song, it just isn't about a simple song. It's about the transformation, not only with Deb herself, but for others who listen to the song as well. And it's about vision and the courage to share your voice with the world. Okay, so today,
Hello.
welcome, Deb. Yes.
Hello.
Welcome. And just to introduce myself, because I didn't do that, right?
Mhm.
I'm Sheila Searcy. I'm actually working with Deb now as a music manager, business, marketing, branding kind of person right now, right?
Mhm.
So let's just get into the interview questions. Okay.
Mhm.
So, first, we're going to talk about your journey, the songwriting journey, your personal journey, and how it all got started. What inspired you to in the country pop style of genre that you're looking to continue writing with?
Okay, about a little over 3.5 years ago, I started writing lyrics when my marriage uh, for decades had fallen apart and didn't look like it was going to recover. So when the divorce started it it was finalized, I started writing lyrics. I just figured I wanted to write a song. I didn't know what direction it would go in. I just decided that's what I was going to do, and went on that path of just writing lines in notebooks and on paper, and just kind of kept going until I finally got to the point where I said, I think I have enough. And
Yes. Excellent. Yes. Well, I can just say that the story has a lot of depth and emotion and meaning. It's Deb's story. So what's the story behind starting Be Heard Publishing? And what inspired you again for the particular song right now, A One Way Mirror?
well, the one way mirror was based on the the lifestyle I had lived and always being kept quiet and didn't really have a voice. And I had to be one way in public and another way in private. And through all this, I went through several different courses and training to kind of learn about what had taken place in my life. And through all that, I stumbled across learning about myself and learning about what had happened, and that I wasn't going to settle for that kind of lifestyle, and I wasn't going to just remain stuck in that.
Excellent. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the actual new release or upcoming release, A One Way Mirror. What was the tone of that song and where did that come from?
That song came from just a lot of inner reflection that I had to go through, and in figuring out that what I had gone through, um, I don't have to stay in that. That I can move and grow and learn from it, and that's not who I am. That who is who I was, that's who I was trained to be. But I am not that person. I am somebody else. And that this song was there to take me from the learning process to the growing process to the transformation of who I am today.
So let's talk a little bit about the songwriting process. What did you think about that? And
Yeah.
I know you have lots of stories.
Yeah. So a lot of the times, what would happen was I'd be walking. I go for a walk pretty much every day, about 3 miles, and in my walk, I would come up with things, and I usually didn't have anything to write with, so I would have to like repeat this over and over and over again in my mind. If I had a line, I had like, oh, I don't want to forget that line. So finally, I started to take a notebook with me or my phone so I could jot it down. Other times I just would go up in my craft room, and that's where a lot of my creativity would hit me, and I would just start to write things out, and it would just progress from there.
Yes, yes. So, how long did it take you to craft this masterpiece?
Well, totally about 3.5 years. When I finally realized I needed to stop and to start pulling, reviewing the lines and start deciding what I wanted, what really stuck to my heart, and what spoke to me. And then when I started pulling in lines, I was able to tone it down quite a bit because I have several pages. And then when I got to a point where I could no longer do it myself, I reached out to you and you helped me finalize.
Yes, that was how long did it take us? Like 3
Mm,
weeks, 4 weeks to kind of each week we went through the
right.
lyrics and try to massage it and
Yeah.
switch some things around and add more,
Yep.
to it as well. And then we stumbled across Marika AI.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about your feeling when we used Marika AI
Mhm.
to upload your lyrics,
Yeah.
and we really didn't take it seriously. We are like, let me just test out this
Mhm.
AI music sound producing,
Mhm.
platform and see what it spits out.
Right. Right. So when you had suggested that, because I thought originally that you and your husband were going to do the music and all the singing and everything, and I thought, well, this is going to take a while. So I'm like, oh, good. At least it's out of my hands for a while. But you did some research and found out about Marika, and I have to tell you, I didn't know where these words were going to go because they didn't really hit me until you played that song back.
Yes. It's like all of our hard work, even though I only had a small portion, it wasn't a 3-year
Mhm.
period, but we did discuss it for 3 years.
Yes.
And then finally, it wasn't
Mhm.
until the lyrics were
Yeah.
played back with the music that it was like, wow, it just came to life.
It came to life, and it blew us away. I mean,
Yes.
totally blew us away.
So that was exciting.
That
That
was
was
exciting.
exciting. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about building Be Heard. Some
Mhm.
of your challenges and victories and your vision for the future.
Mhm. So building Be Heard, I didn't know anything about building a business or doing anything, but Sheila is, I would say, an expert at it. She walked me through everything we had to do, what to set up, where to go to get this, what to do next. So I just basically followed her lead, and she was always right there helping me. So if it weren't for you, this wouldn't be done.
Well, thank you. Thank
You're welcome.
you. Well, and I was inspired from your song and your lyrics. And I just really saw, and because your notepad was full
Mhm. Right.
with different other songs that you can make, I was just
Right.
like, you have to do this. This is
Right.
kind of, you're falling into your purpose
Correct.
because there's so much emotion and feeling in the
Mhm.
song that, you know, I could feel it. I could feel it myself. So I was like, I
Mhm.
have to help, right? I have
Yep.
to do this. And it's something that you need to do,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
To step out of your comfort zone.
Oh,
And
very much so. Yeah, I mean, our energy was so high. I mean, we were up until late in the evenings and working, and just we couldn't stop
stop.
thinking about it. And I
Yeah.
wanted to hear it like every day. I had to play it.
Just the momentum of
Right.
starting the of playing the song and starting the business at the same
Right.
time, and getting things off of the ground. So, what would you say was the most challenging? What has been the most challenging so far, and what do you feel? What victories do you think that you've experienced?
Probably the most challenging, I think, is setting up all these platforms that we're building, that you're building, helping me build. That has probably been the most challenging, not knowing what to do, but
For the social
for
media,
the social media, yes, yes. But As far as the business aspect, I mean, I did have to reach out and set up, copyright, the lyrics, and they had to set up a business and go through all those areas and stuff. That was a little bit challenging.
Hmm.
But I think the funnest part was when you and I had talked and we decided that, well, is this going to be a one and done, or do you want to do more? And I'm like, I knew that this was in me and this is what I was supposed to do
Yes,
based on
yes.
what came out of the song and the meanings and the help it's going to have for other people.
Yes. And let's talk a little bit. What kind of reactions have you
Wow.
heard back from friends and family that you have shared the song with? Sometimes over the speaker on your cell phone,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, it's been quite amazing. I've had all different age ranges, into the mid 80s, folks in the mid 80s to like our age or less, and everybody is blown away by what this song means, and they can actually feel the emotion in it, and they understand the meaning behind it, and it's they just feel like it's going to make the radio. They feel like it's going to uh, reach out to top stars like Carrie Underwood and different things. I've heard so many different names thrown out, that it's going to really be something. And, I'm not going to stop it.
Yes. Yes. So, who do you think the song speaks to?
The song speaks to those who have been in relationships or have had um, relationships that have been abusive or controlling, things like that.
Some type of narcissistic behavior,
Yes.
you know, as
Right.
well.
Right. And,
Hmm.
really, you don't have to label people too, because all
That's
you have to do
true.
is look at how is someone treating you. You look at their actions, and their actions and their words don't line up. Well, then there's a problem. And I've learned so much about that area, and I've also learned about attachment styles, and I've learned so much that now I can see it, and I can I know what it is.
I mean, you've shared a lot of knowledge with me just with the programs and things
Mhm.
that you've gone through and the coaching and mentoring.
Yeah.
And now you've become a mentor
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
well. Talk a
Mhm.
little bit about that.
Uh, Yeah, I went through several programs, and they were all at different stages. One was like a 7 day, one was a 45 day, and then there was one that was 120 days. And in each phase, I actually grew more and more and more, and I learned so much that I realized that that's how I lived that, and I lived in those elements. And it wasn't until I probably finished the last 120-day program where I'm literally carrying rocks on a backpack, and I'm doing these different scenarios that I was asked to do in this program. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is a lot of hard work. I'm out in the public. And it wasn't until the end that I realized, oh, I know what this is about now. And
Okay, because I know the background story, I'm just going to ask you, how many times did you want to give up?
oh, multiple times. I literally cried and cried, and so many times I just wanted to quit. And Ben wouldn't let me quit. He's like, no, you can't quit. you know.
Yes. So let's talk about, based on the feeling of the song, what should listeners expect to hear or expect to feel?
If you have ever been in had a trauma bond, or if you've ever had um, someone treat you bad for no reason, and you um, wow, this is a hard one. It's it's just like, if you know someone, or if you feel that someone mistreated you, and you allowed it. That's the bad thing, was like, I allowed it to happen to me. So that was a kind of a hard thing to have to accept. But
Mhm.
anybody who's had some kind of bad experience in life, you're going to be able to relate to this, and understand that abuse and bad treatment shouldn't be tolerated. And you don't have to tolerate it. You can set boundaries, and you can um, set things so those people don't enter into your lives, and you don't have to take it, and you can move
Right.
on.
And you have more control over your
Yeah.
life than you know.
Yes, you
Mhm.
do. You do.
Because sometimes you always accept the blame, but it's really
Right.
not you, and you're making the apologies for someone else's bad behavior,
Correct.
right? Too.
Yes.
So on the fun note, right? When
Mhm.
do we expect the release of the new song to come out?
Okay, that is scheduled for May 7th, which is
Okay.
next Wednesday.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And so where should people follow you, stream the music? What are you thinking?
Well, we're going to be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Those are the platforms that we're getting on. And then for streaming, Spotify, Apple Music, um, iTunes, Amazon.
Pandora. Yeah, Amazon.
100, actually, we have like 150 streaming channels. So I think you should be able to find one from one of
Right.
those.
Right. Whatever you're streaming nowadays, you should be
Right,
able to find the song. So no excuses, everyone.
right.
At least give it a listen, right? So how can people reach out to you, or what are some of your social media handles that you
Um,
have?
mhm. So I have for Facebook and Facebook and Instagram or YouTube. Which one is it? I can't remember. It's
Okay.
We Heard Publishing, and then I think those are for Facebook and YouTube. And
Right.
Instagram
Uh-huh.
is Be Heard 13 is the handle.
Okay. That's short and sweet, right? Can't forget that.
Right.
And but the music right now, we're still kind of working on that. You may find her as well, just as Deb Paske too, on the streaming site. So we're it's a work in progress,
Mhm.
but this is just the beginning, just the
Okay.
introduction, and we wanted to welcome everyone onto this wonderful, wonderful journey. So plenty of songs. She has plenty of lyrics. That's not only going to talk about relationships, but
Right.
other things. But the last thing, why did you choose the country pop genre?
Well, I am a country girl,
Okay.
born and raised in a small town, and I just always loved country music, and the pop kind of gives a little kick, and it just kind of. I think you're really gonna like this song, and I think it's gonna speak to you. And one good way to remember is Be Heard Publishing is easy, because my name Debbie actually stands for BEE, and
Which
I
is the
was
B,
just the
right?
B. And then the herd, I learned while I was going through training that the buffalo, which are a herd of buffalo, when there is a storm, they run through the storm. They don't run away from the storm. And I wanted Be Heard. I wanted it to be similar to that thing, because I normally am a very shy and quiet person, and I don't have a voice, but this song has given me the opportunity to have a voice and be heard.
All right. Thank you. I'm so excited and I can't wait for the release.
Okay, me
And
too.
I I'm enjoying the journey right now.
Yeah.
So, and I know everyone else will. But that's all we have today for Be Heard, right?
Yeah.
So you'll see more of Deb around the internet finally. So any final words for you?
Nope. Just, hey, subscribe. Just kind of
Like,
get on.
share,
Yeah.
all of that, all of the above. And
Right.
we'll talk to you soon.